Hi guys. Firstly, a response to Johnny. In regards to far-fetched childhood dreams, when I was a little kid, I wanted to be Britney Spears. That's actually why my mom enrolled me in dance when I was a kid, because I told her I wanted to be Britney Spears, and she interpreted that as like a normal person would, that like I wanted to be a pop star. But no, I wanted to be Britney Spears. So the conversation starter that I got is, what was your favorite children's book as a kid? And so I was like, I have two answers to that. Because one is the response I would have given when I was a kid if you'd asked me this, what my favorite book was. And then the other is like what I think now, what I still like now. Yeah, so the first one, I've talked about this book a little bit with Tyson. It's actually a series, the Molly Moon series. I loved when I was a kid. Now I'm not sure if it stands up so well. I think it'd actually be really, really interesting to read again, because I haven't read it since I was like probably in middle school. But I remember me and Tyson were talking about like Mary Sue's, and she was the first that I thought of, because like she's just, I don't even think she's a Mary Sue so much as she's just like really, really OP. Because when the book starts, she's like this little girl. She's an orphan. She's got no friends. She's not that smart, or she's not that good at school, I should say. I think she's kind of smart. She wasn't a good looking person by any means. She's very homely, even for a child. Yeah, and just everybody hated her. And she was just a really unfortunate child. So I guess she wasn't really a Mary Sue, because she wasn't good at everything. But like, the first book is called Molly Moon and the Incredible Book of Hypnotism. And then the next one, I think, Molly Moon Stops the World. And then the third is like about time travel. So every book, she just gets another really, really OP powers. Hypnotism, stopping time, time traveling. And then I think the last one that I read, she got the power to like steal people's memories or something. It was just like, I honestly can't really remember that much. Yeah, it's like, considering how many times I read those books, I don't remember a ton about them. I remember the premise. I remember the first book. She, like, within the first few chapters, I think, of getting like this hypnotism power, is able to get her way to America, because she was in England, I think, when the book started, and like become a Broadway star, because she's literally able to hypnotize everybody in the crowd and everybody like on camera that's watching, you know. Very, very OP hypnotism powers. They need to nerf that. But I recall there was this guy in the first book that was like the main antagonist, and I think he found out about her powers and was trying to like exploit her and like use her for his own personal gain or whatever. He was like a capital BG bad guy, just this adult who was just the worst. He was just super evil. And if I recall correctly, I think she ends up hypnotizing him, and then it takes a turn because she uses him for like the rest of the books as like her own personal adults that like, because she's like a 12-year-old, she needs like somebody to get her around. She can't, she's a kid. But like, that raises some interesting questions, I think, about like the morality of hypnotism. Is like, he was a bad guy, yeah, and she made his life objectively better by hypnotizing him, because he like, I don't know if he was homeless or he was living with his mom or something, and like he was just a bad guy, and she made him a better person. She made his life better in like every way, but at the same time he has no autonomy at all. It's like, as a kid, I kind of really took that for granted. I didn't think about that a lot, but now thinking back on it, I'm like, that's kind of fucked up. I don't know how I feel about it. So I kind of want to go back and read those again, because I don't know if the author addressed those things, and I just missed it because I was just a kid when I read them, or if like they're just steal this guy's life, enslave him. Yeah, so those are those. And then books. The book that I'd say that is my favorite now The one that stands up a lot better, I think, is The Miraculous Journey of Edward Tulane by Kate DiCamillo, who also wrote The Tale of Despero, if you guys have seen the movie that came out several years back or read the. I really liked that book too as a kid. I think that was the more famous one. But I really liked Edward Tulane because it was about this rabbit doll made of china who was owned by this girl Abigail. And she like really loved him, but he was very spoiled and prissy, and he's like, I don't need anybody. Like, I don't love anybody. I don't understand what love is, you know? And so he ended up getting lost. I think they went on a cruise or something, and he got thrown overboard by these, like, boys. So he spent, like, several years at the bottom of the ocean until, like, a storm dredged him up, and he was found by a fisherman. So, like, pretty much the premise of the book is that he bounces from home to home, and has all of these different owners over, like, 30-something years, I think. And he learns to love, you know? He learns, like, once he starts losing people, what he's missing and what love is. And I can't explain it very well because it's so good, and I'm not good at explaining things that are good, I think. That's why I'm not a writer. Yeah, it was just very touching and sad. And at the end of the book, he ends up in this shop. He's like all beat to shit, and it's like he's got a huge crack in his head. And he sees Abigail come in, or somebody that looks just like Abigail but is much older, and she's coming in with like her daughter or her granddaughter or something. And she sees them, and it's like it comes full circle, and it's just a beautiful story. And I want to read that one again too, for much different reasons, because that story just means a lot to me. Yeah, I might pick it up when I go home this weekend because I want to read it. I'm like nostalgiaing out right now. So yeah, those are my picks.